doing chapter 4 of the Real Smart Note title registration. Now I'm going to go bring out the chapter 4 business here. Subdivision of land and the title registration of land. And I think we got this mixed up here. But anyways, here's a note. BC was among the first jurisdictions in the world to adopt the Torrens system of land registration. Okay, who owns the land in BC? 93.8% is provincial crown. 1.1% is the federal crown. Now, we've got private lands, that's 5.1. And out of that 5.1 of it's treaty settlement land is 0.2%. All right. Okay. And a lot of that private land is in the lower mainland here. All right. Now we got how is land divided? We got subdivided. We got subdividing number 1, the traditional way is 1 into 2. Or number 2, we got the 2 into 3, or we got the airspace. Different ways. Strata concept. To strata unit, and then they have the strata units and the common property. You subdivide a building, you have to make up a strata. Okay, so the strata lots are created out of the building, not out of the land. All right? You have schedule of unit entitlement. That's a table included in the strata plan. It sets out each owner's proportionate interest in the common property. All right? So I think there's one for my building, the Somerset. It's often used to calculate a strata lot owner's share of a strata corporation's expense. The word conversion means you take a building and you convert it, you subdivide it into strata lots, along with common property. Okay? Bare land strata titles. A developer may also subdivide bare land. That means land without buildings. There may be one or more buildings on the land at the time subdivision occurs. All right. So you subdivide the land. That's a little bit different, eh? Okay. So the bare land strata, for example, you would have a cul-de-sac on there. And mixed-use strata development. Sometimes they do it. They have like some commercial, they got residential. All right, strata principles. This is on 4.6 and 4.7. Strata principle, a strata is a strata. Okay, whether it's a duplex or whether it is a 500 unit apartment style strata. Second principle, strata scheme is self-enforcing. No strata police. Every strata development has a strata corporation, and they enforce their own rules under the Strata Property Act. And 4.7, we got the third principle, not on reserves. Okay, we don't have reserves happening. Unless it's the Nisga'a, the Tsawwassen, or the Malnuth First Nations on Vancouver Island. They've got their own treaties, so the Strata Property Act applies there. So you create a strata development through a strata plan. Then we have types of strata property. We've got strata lots. We've got freehold and leasehold. Two kinds. We have the freehold and fee simple. And then we got the leasehold, which I guess maximum 50 years. An example would be UBC, the First Nations, Musqueam there. Right? And 4.9, we got a little cute Latin phrase, nemo dat quod, which means you can't give what you don't have. That means nemo dat. Nemo dat quod. That's pretty good. Nemo dat quod non habet. That's the whole phrase. Nemo dat quod not habet. So nemo, that means you can't give. Dat quod, you can't give. Quod non habet. That means what you don't have. Void deeds. So basically, this doctrine of the void deed. A deed is any document under seal, and a void deed is one where you have no legal effect. So we already talked about that. As a licensee, 410, you should always request government photo ID. All right, that's one way to foolproof, to make things more foolproof. We talked about the Torrens system. the indefeasibility principle. So basically, people acquiring a fee simple estate and land by their own dishonest means are not protected by indefeasibility principles. Okay, so 10 exceptions to indefeasible. 1, reservations. 2, federal provincial taxes, rates of assessment. 3, municipal charges. 4, leases for terms of 3 years or less, where the tenant's in actual cooperation. 5, highways and public rights of way, water courses, public easement. 6, rights of expropriation or to escheat. And what the fuck is escheat again? Escheat. Let me just look at the word here in case it comes up on my test. Escheat. BC. So in BC, escheat means okay. So escheat means where a property is surrendered to the government upon the death of the owner because there's nobody to inherit the property. So yeah, so it might be somebody dies, there's nobody to inherit them, they can't find anybody, the government will take it over. And that happens, I guess. That's maybe where some of our parks come from the escheat. And what is the word escheat? It's let me hear. It's from the word cheat. Escheat. It's from the modern one cheat. Escheat. Escheat. Okay. Pronunciation. So how do you pronounce escheat? And I will find out here and I will get the 100%. We will find. Escheat is when the government takes over land they couldn't find the heir. Escheat. Escheat. It sounds like how Iranians typically say the S words. They say cheat. Escheat. Okay, anyways, so these are exceptions to indefeasibility. We got, so we said 6 is the right of expropriation or to an escheat. 7, we got a caution, caveat, charge, builder's lien, judgment, certificate of pending litigation, CPL, on the certificate title. A, the right of the person to show that the land is by wrong description of boundaries, including the type certificate title. So maybe they screwed up on the boundaries. 9, fraud, including forgery of a registered owner. And 10, restrictive condition imposed by the Forest Act. That's endorsed on title. All right, principle of indefeasible will not protect Clara because she's obtained the title as a gift through fraud. Okay, so gift doesn't count. We said already registered charges are not indefeasible. The lease of under 3 years is right. Or if it's under 3 years, it's not protected. It's defeasible. But if it's over 3 years, then it's indefeasible. All right. And we got what else? What else? What else? Assurance prisoner. We got the assurance fund. So if you fail to register at the Land Title Act, then you have no assurance fund. And assurance fund's only for a last resort. All right. Okay, so you got trust. So we got you register for kid. They have a trust. In trust, then the adult is a trustee. The kid is the beneficiary. Under a pure Torrens system, you don't mention a trust. But in BC, you have to, in BC system, a notation of trust is made on title, and the trust document is filed in the Land Title Office. There you go. Okay, so certificates of title, searching for the title, you better do it or you're an asshole. If a duplicate certificate of title is lost or destroyed, or make the seniors go find it. Don't you do it for them. You're not a detective. Caveat means beware. There are 2 months. You've got 2 months for what? A caveat's only 2 months and then it lapses. Certificate of pending litigation. If it's a notice for anyone searching title that a court action has been commenced concerning the property. All right? Builder's lien, 45 days to file. Then we got people, the owner, when they build something, they got to hold back 10% for 55 days for the project completion. The strata, that's 10%, held back, and strata is 7%. Okay, a judgment registered against person's estate or interest in land, that's only, and it's noted on the certificate of title, like any other charge, it's only 2 years. All right, Section 212 covenant. This is under the Land Title Act. This means the provincial or local government, they could require an owner or developer, a property developer, to register on the title what? A covenant restricting the uses of land in question. Okay, so it might be Ministry of the Environment. They put a restriction because of contamination, or a local government could control subdivision and what may be built on the land through the Section 219 covenant. All right. All right, and then, something about grow-ups here. This is interesting. So in recent years, Section 57, which is the community charter. So these are legal notations on, up here on title. So the property may be unsafe for habitation because it's not in compliance with municipal bylaws and or provincial building regulations, okay? That's a Section 57 notice of the community charter. So I think it's only Vancouver. So for example, grow-ups. Use Section 57 to flag grow-up properties. Yeah. Okay, here's something about registration. The Real Estate Services Act and council rules state that money in the brokerage trust account that is intended as remuneration for a licensee may be withdrawn when it has been earned. Okay, there you go. And that it's considered to be earned, all right? Once the documents go into the land title office for registration, and as long as the vendor signed it, and they do, the brokerage can then pay itself the commission from the trust account, from the deposit. And final registration of the transfer may take 7 to 14 days. On completion of final registration, a new certificate of title will be issued in the name of the purchaser, and you can get your money. Title insurance, yes, this is another thing that people can have, is title insurance. Alrighty then, there's a contaminated sites registry. It's separate from the land title registration. And there's manufactured homes. Hey, just wait a second. So I guess you got to do a search for that too, eh? Oh no, it goes to the register of the site registry. So as far as I know that okay, especially when you're doing commercial real estate, you need to search for contaminated. For commercial properties, you need to search the contaminated sites registry. Search this. So it should be for everything. Okay, and then we got manufactured home registry. Years. All right, and that's about it, eh? All right. Aren't we having a great time today doing so much work? Awesome. See you in chapter 4.